In times long gone by, there lived a king who had 7 beautiful daughters. One day, news came to him that the young prince in the neighbouring kingdom was seeking a wife, and the king decided it was time his eldest daughter found a husband. There was, however, one problem. It was not that he was concerned about whether she would want such a marriage, for in those times a daughter who was a princess would have had little choice. It was rather he had heard the young prince was known as a famous writer of musical ballads. The prince was said to be searching for a wife who could also share in his joy of music and sing the songs he had written. Unfortunately, although the king's eldest daughter, like her sisters, was very beautiful, she was unable to sing. In fact, she couldn't sing a note. When she opened her mouth, the most frightful sounds came out, making the courtiers want to block their ears. If it were not for the king's stern looks, they might well have run out of the palace, never to return. Well, the king decided to keep the matter of his daughter's singing quiet, and instead made it be known that she had the voice of an angel, and arranged for the prince to be sent her portrait. Very shortly, word came back that the prince was enraptured by her likeness, and the marriage was arranged. Before long, the prince had sent a ballad in the form of a letter for the princess to sing on the eve of their wedding, and he was on his way to the kingdom to claim his new bride. Whilst the king was very happy at such an outcome, he realised he would need to convince the prince that his daughter had at least a pleasing voice. He decided to summon the master of the king's music and commanded that he give her a singing lesson. The master started by singing a few short melodies for the princess to repeat. He then attempted to sing the ballad the prince had sent, but he quickly realised that teaching it would be an utterly fruitless task. Indeed, whilst the princess sang, he wished he were her cat, which had slipped silently away to find some peace. When the lesson was at an end, he was summoned by the king, who asked, "Will my daughter be able to sing for the prince?" At first, the master of the king's music hesitated, since he didn't know how to tell the king that he thought this would be impossible. "Your Majesty, I've never heard a voice quite like hers before. The qualities in your daughter's voice are beyond training," he replied, and had no more to say on the subject. A few days before the wedding, great festivities took place to mark the impending marriage. No expense was spared, and a host of performers had been invited to celebrate, including the greatest actors in the land, dancers in colourful costumes, and talented acrobats. The king also invited a famous magician by the name of the Great Azoldo to entertain the people who had come from far and wide to witness this magnificent event. The crowds were amazed when the Great Azoldo seemed to produce doves from every part of his person and presented each of the princesses with a bunch of red roses out of what appeared to be an empty box. The king was so impressed by the magician that he believed he had great powers and summoned him after the performance. He offered to give him the prize of a chalice made of solid gold if he could do some special magic for him. Well, the magician was curious as to what would be the king's demand, but asserted, "I am not the gold of the Great Azoldo for nothing." The king replied anxiously, "Ever since my daughter was young, how shall I put it? She has never had the most
melodious voice. But now she is betrothed to a prince who is a fine musician. It needs to sound different.
He then came straight out with it.
I would like you to give my daughter the voice of an angel.
The magician was taken aback at such a request, but being very excited by the prospect of gaining this great prize, told the king he would do whatever he commanded. I will use a very special spell indeed. Afterwards the prince and everyone who hears her will be amazed at her singing, he assured the king, who immediately went to tell his daughter the good news. The truth, however, was very different. He was really just a trickster and didn't have the slightest idea how he would be able to achieve this.